you'll see. I'm now going to introduce Cadmilla Barrett. Min is our chair of the library.
Thank you, Emma. And welcome everybody to the library. And I'd like to thank every one of you for coming this evening. I have a few special thank yous to give out. First of all, I'd like to thank Sandra, who came to Emma several months ago with the seed of an idea, and she's nurtured the seed into an absolutely fabulous occasion that you've brought to us this evening. So thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank the many talented singers and musicians that also helped Sandra bring this together. You've done an amazing job, all of you, so well done and thank you. Yeah. I'd like to thank Emma and her staff who supported Sandra and her team in bringing this together. Thank you, all of you. And Jamie Hyde, who is snooping around the building at the moment, who's donated his time and photography skills to record this great evening for us. So thank you, Jamie. And finally, I'd like to thank two men who can't be here tonight, but without them, this absolutely could not have happened. I'd like to thank Larry Olafsson, who is the songwriter who coordinated this group on the day when they wrote the song. Very grateful to him. And finally to Jim Matika, without whom this absolutely could not have happened. So in his honour, thank you. And Sandra, okay.
Thanks, Min and everybody. Thank you, everybody who came. So I've written up a speech, so I'm going to read it to you. Okay, here we go. Good evening, everybody. It's really something to stand here and look at so many faces, so many ages, all here to celebrate the Fernie Heritage Library. Thank you so much for coming. This all began with a literacy survey that we did a few years ago at the high school, actually. And something the kids said over and over again was that if they were going to do an extracurricular literacy activity, it had to be songwriting. So that's where it all started from. And that's also where we first heard of Lowry Olafsson. But when we did some research, there was just no way with our budget that we could afford to have him come. So it just became one of those programming dreams. Anyways, as most dreams do, this one started to take on a life of its own. And it started with Jim Matika. He was a very active senior and one of the program organizers at Tom Uphill. He was also one of the guys that bounced the library reading club so they could have Thursday bingo instead. Yes, he did. But that's okay. We started doing a special story time with young children at Tom Uphill. And ever since then, I don't think we've had to worry about being bounced again. Fingers crossed. In October, Jim passed on and bequeathed his memorial donations to the children's programming at the Fernie Heritage Library. Shortly after all this happened, Emma and I were sitting in the office back there talking about what are we going to do for the event on Family Literacy Day on January 27th. Right in the middle of that meeting, Lowry Olafsson phoned and said he's passing through Fernie, he wants to come and do a songwriting workshop, and he's going to give us a special rate. So, how perfect was that? What can we say? So anyways, Jim's gift plus Lowry's phone call made the decision for us, and we are now able to host our songwriting workshop on December 3rd. And so we gathered community members together, and we wrote a song to present to the community today on Family Literacy Day. As an aside, I do want to mention that Lowry Olafsson is not just a splendid musician, but he's also some sort of a magician. Somehow he was able to corral the creativity of 38 people from grades 4 to senior in 3 hours, write 2 original verses, original music, and a chorus for our library theme song. And he did it in a completely democratic, invigorating way that I think we can all say kind of etched that song on our souls forever. Yes? I would like to say too, I've heard that song being sung by kids getting out of minivans at the grocery store. I've heard that song in lineups at the bank. And I've heard that song going around and around in my head before I went to bed at night for days after the workshop. And I just want to say I think it's beautifully contagious. So here we are. To let you know, this has been no small collaboration. Tonight we have representatives from the Fernie Academy, Isabella Dickin Elementary School, Fernie Secondary School, and a cross-section from our adult and senior community, all here to sing the original song that we wrote that day, with some verses that they've each created. And it's all to add to our library's love song. It's kind of what it's turning out to be called. Some of our original composers that were at that workshop weren't able to make it tonight, so I just want to give them a thank you. And now what I will say is, there's song sheets around. Does everybody, if anybody needs a song sheet, please put up your hand. Can somebody get them a song sheet? That's great. There you go. And we're hoping that you're all going to sing along, especially in the chorus part, because everyone else is going to be singing other things. Let's get the kids that are singing up here from Isabella Dickin and also the Academy. Take your spots that we talked about earlier. Okay, musicians, are you ready? Musicians? Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, I bring you our song, Once Upon a Library.
Video 50.